There's no other part I'd want to play. And there's great actors in all the other roles, so I wouldn't want to take anyone else's part away from it.
Fury. Since you've been gone, things have gotten much worse. Why do you think I came back?
In the second episode, we get to know a little about Gravik's past, and that helps us to understand his motivation as well. How was it for you to build his character?
Do get to understand a little bit about where he's coming from in the first 2 episodes, but I think there's a lot more coming. I think there's a lot more of an understanding. As the episodes go on, there's more of a reveal around that history, and we get to understand why he's behaving in the ways that he is a lot more than we do in the first 2 episodes.
Very few of us know about the wars fought in the shadows that have raged on this planet.
And did you feel any fear or difficult to fit Gravik in the MCU?
I felt that he was like a really appropriate character within this story, and it was just about building him in a way that matched the tone and style and like functionally what it needed. We needed to make sure he was a character that the audience believed was going to be real trouble for Fury to come up against. Building that history, that backstory between them, and making that personal relationship between them, or that personal feeling of like hurt or abandonment, or like I guess the Gravik's feelings of hatred towards him for the past just needed to be really grounded and real and like substantial, and the audience needed to understand why. So that was a big part of the writing process and the rewriting process, and just the development. I came on quite early, so not all of the scripts were ready when I joined. It was 6 or 7 months before we started.
Do you feel responsible?
While we are on the subject of Screws, what other Marvel's characters would you like to play?
I'm pretty content with just one, so I'd say Gravik is fine for me just now.
Secret Invasion has big names in his cast like Samuel Jackson and Olivia Colman. I wanted you to tell us a little bit about the backstage and what it was like to share the set with these big stars.
It was really great. Yeah, it's a great cast and lots of experience and good. It was a great working atmosphere, and you feel in really safe hands around. To speak of Samuel and Ben in particular, because a lot of my stuff was with them. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and I felt it would be before we started, and it proved to be.
Where are the Avengers? This war is one I have to fight alone.
Considering that this is a series of investigation and espionage, did you ever watch a classic movie or were inspired by a specific character?
I took a little bit of inspiration from a character called Manuel in a show called 000. Not so much as like copying the character, but there was something about how immune to violence he was, and how easy, at least it felt for him to see and do like horrific things. And Gravik felt like someone who was doing the same thing. There was something unsentimental about that character that I thought was really appropriate for Gravik. It's hard to wrap your head around, like how someone can get to that place where they can do that with such ease, and to seemingly feel no emotion or to feel no remorse about causing that pain. And then another layer to it is like, what if that's the only way that you can actually feel anything? To see other people in pain, to like be around that noise and the chaos and the screaming of other people feeling the way how on some level you felt in the past. And we see that all the time, that's like what's going on around us, that kind of anger and rage that's built up. And then you see these guys who use that rage to manipulate whole communities and groups to do what they want to do, to get them to do what they want.
The great Nick Fury.